So, with the announcement of the Godzilla TV series, and also I also completely forgot that, oh yeah, Toho just renewed the license with Legendary and Warner Brothers to let them keep doing Godzilla stuff. Because why make your own stuff when you can just have someone else do it for you? Why make your own why use your own property when someone else is like, we'll make it and make money for you? Which, again, you really gotta hand it to how well everyone counted out GVK, and then it just made ridiculous numbers. To be fair, that was the movie we kind of needed in a pandemic world, and it also showcased that you could bring back movies to theaters. And let's be real, if it came out without the what happened to the world, I think it would have completely bombed, and Toho would have ended the MonsterVerse right there. So it's it's kind of weird how things played out, but yeah. So I think it was again, GVK worth the wait. Anyway, so we're going to talk about with the idea of the television series coming to Apple Plus. Still, I'm completely really, Apple Plus? That's where we're going here. That's all right. I guess we're doing that. All right. And I thought it'd be kind of fun to talk about some of it, what monsters could be used, what could we see going forward with the MonsterVerse, whether it be movie or TV show. We do know we are getting the Skull Island anime for Netflix, which I'm really excited about. Hopefully we'll get some news on that this year. Of course, we've got the TV show and the rumored Son of Kong movie, which has been rumored since the get-go, since post-GVK, that would be the next one is Son of Kong, which makes the most sense because, A, I think we could do it with another Kong movie, and 2, Kong's technically, that version of Kong is under Legendary. Of course, even if they weren't going to use Godzilla, if Toho wasn't going to let them use Godzilla again, they'd just be like, oh, fine, we'll just carry on with, forward with Kong in the MonsterVerse and use our monsters. I think that was kind of the fallback plan, even if because of how well GVK did. I think that was the fallback plan if Toho wasn't going to be we're not going to renew anything. So I think that was the plan. We can just keep going with the MonsterVerse with Kong as the main focus now. So I think Son of Kong is a logical thing. The question is it going to be the biological Son of Kong, he meets a female Kong and we get a weird adaptation of King Kong Lives? Oh god, King Kong Lives. Anyway, or are we going to be getting is Kong going to is it going to be Son of Godzilla, where Kong just finds a kid and is like, alright, I guess you're mine now. That's the idea. Could that be it? And what we're also going to talk about, what monsters could we see now that Toho is really open to the idea of really working with Legendary more and more. So let's talk about some of the monsters we could see before we get into the real meat and potatoes of this. Now, the one kaiju I think what I've wanted to see in the MonsterVerse, and I think above all else, I have really wanted to see Biollante as get her own MonsterVerse treatment. I think that's something I think a lot of people have wanted to see is Biollante reborn. Now, I think she just works as in the MonsterVerse perfectly. You could have it that she either was created by science or was naturally born. You could maybe do it she was born, or she's more of a plant-based monster without the G cells, or you could go the MonsterVerse route and be because now we could just be Mechagodzilla was created from Ghidorah, so maybe as another anti-Godzilla weapon, they were experimenting with plants, and that's how they got this version of Biollante from experimenting with Godzilla's DNA. Could be the case. As for other monsters I could see get the MonsterVerse treatment, I think it would be really cool to see Varan. I think Varan works Titanus Varan, yeah, that would really work in here. Because he just fits. He just fits naturally. Like, you could just have it that he's just been sleeping this whole time or hiding in Hollow Earth. He's not a big monster either. He's not a big kaiju either, and he fits perfectly in what they're trying to do with the Monsterverse. Same with Gorosaurus. You could have... Actually, it'd be kind of fun to have Gorosaurus in the next Kong movie, like, because, yeah, he appeared in a Kong movie, in King Kong Escapes. So yeah, Gorosaurus could actually work. Like, he's down there in Hollow Earth, and you could have him and Kong fight. Same with, and this is actually a Kong character I would love to see, and some of you guys have talked about how this character should be part of the Monsterverse, and that is Ga. Ga would be really cool, like a new version of him. Now, for those wondering who is Ga, Ga was kind of, in some of the original material for King Kong, Ga was the, like, original god of Skull Island until Kong defeated him. Like, Kong killed him, and he took his place. Ga was also the reason why, in some forms, he is the reason Kong is the last of his kind. He's like this huge reptoid humanoid creature who was intelligent, he was savage, he almost looks like he climbed right out of Primal War. So, I think that would be Ga would be really cool, like another Hollow Earth villain for him to fight. That would be really neat. Or have him in the Skull Island anime series. That'd be neat. That'd be cool. Now, here's the other thing. Now, a lot of people have gone on about, like, oh, I want to see a new version of this monster, or that monster, or that monster. I think it's important that we bring in new blood to the Monsterverse. I think it's very important that we bring in new monsters because you can only do so much with the monsters we have. I think it's important that we find a good balance of bring back cool old monsters, but not overly depend on them. You don't want a Star Wars syndrome where you're depending too much on these characters, where it's like, oh, okay. It's kind of like my problem with Ahsoka. Is like, I really like Ahsoka, but I feel like she's kind of overstayed her welcome. I've talked about this, where I feel like her logical character ending was her fighting Vader, and that's where it should have ended. And yeah, I mean, I've talked at length about that, and I'm not trying to say like I'm shitting on the character of Ahsoka. I'm just saying, like, I'm getting off topic. Point being, I think it's important that we don't overly depend on the old Toho monsters. Legendary has created some new fan-favorite monsters. Behemoth, Tiamat, Baphomet, Mokele Mbembe. Those were all monsters that were... Well, we saw Behemoth, but, like, Tiamat we saw in the comic. But characters like Baphomet, Mokele Mbembe, Nessie, those are all monsters that are out there and were only passingly mentioned. Like, we don't know what they look like or what they can do. I would love to see them either in the TV show or show up in other movies as, you know, show up or show new monsters, like completely new unregistered kaiju make their appearance in this universe. I think that's something that could easily work. So I think that's something that should happen. I think that's something that would definitely work on a lot of levels. And the other thing is, I think it'd be kind of cool to see, like, maybe some of these monsters could get their own movies, you know, not just do Godzilla and Kong movies. Maybe do movies centered around the other monsters, like expand the universe. That's what I've always wanted from, like that's what I missed in the days of, like, old Toho, where it's like all these other kaiju got their own movies and then got integrated with the Godzilla universe. But maybe here, they can all spin out from Godzilla. Like, you could do movies about each monster and have them incorporated in here. Like, maybe a movie about Tiamat. She gets her... Because apparently is a female. Tiamat could probably get her own movie. You could do a movie around Baphomet. We don't know what he looks like. I think that'd be really cool as a movie. And some of the Toho monsters could probably get their own movies as well. But like I said, I think this is just fresh ground. Also, side note, and this is just me as on a personal level, I've always, like, jokingly referenced that the movies like Rampage and The Meg are like transcendental, like, are like distantly connected to the Monsterverse, and they feel like they could easily work. Like, Rampage and The Meg could easily be part of the Monsterverse. So wouldn't it be so funny if, like, like, they just say, yeah, Rampage and the Meg are part of the MonsterVerse. Would you be shocked if they were? No, really, I'm asking you. Would you be opposed or really shocked if they just said, "Oh yeah, Rampage and the Meg were part of the MonsterVerse the whole time. They've just been distantly connected," and it would not be hard to put them in there, honestly. And this is coming from someone who really disliked the first Meg movie. Probably because I'm one of the I love the original Stephen Alton novel so much, but yeah, I do have a little more hope for the second film because I like the director they got on there, and I think they've got better writers. So, hopefully it'll be better. Anyway, but I did like Rampage. I do think Rampage is really cool. I did enjoy Rampage, and again, they're so you could easily just say, "Oh yeah, there was an attack in Chicago, and there was a giant shark in China," like that. Would you be opposed if they were part of... I don't think anyone would be really opposed and be like, "Oh, that makes a lot of sense." Anyway, I'm also, can we get, I know this isn't directly connected to the MonsterVerse, but can we get a second season to that Pacific Rim anime? Can we please just get a second season to that Pacific Rim anime? That was so fucking boss. And I haven't heard anything about a second season for that Pacific Rim the Black. I haven't heard anything, and I really enjoyed it too. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. But yeah, that's the thing, is that I would love to see maybe monster movies centered around other monsters that are connected to here, kind of like how in the MCU we have movies centered around certain Marvel superheroes that are connected to a big story. So if we can do that with superhero movies and to an extent Star Wars movies, I see no reason why we can't do that with giant monster movies. Hell, Toho in the 60s and 70s proved that you could do that. You know, they easily proved you could do that by having all these other monsters connected to that. So I don't see why not. I really don't see why that can't be a thing. That's all I'm saying. Is that I'd really appreciate that to be a thing. Now, as for what you could do for other medium, now obviously we are, like I said, getting the Kong anime, we're getting the TV show, and the comics are also going to be connected to the universe as well. The comics are still connected, but the comics are probably going to be the most loosely connected, because they're just here's comics, they're kind of connected, even though they have no real bearing. They're just cool stories. And this is someone who did Godzilla Dominion and Kingdom Kong. But I think I think going forward, I think it's important that we do have different medium on there. So I think TV show, another TV show would be kind of cool. Maybe another anime centered around Godzilla, since we are doing a Kong-centric one. Maybe a Godzilla one. I think the cool one would be Godzilla back in the 50s. Godzilla back in the 50s when they were trying to, use nuclear bombs to kill him. And you could say, "Oh, but there was a prequel to there was a prequel that kind of explained all that." Yeah, but you could still do that. You could still do that story. As for others, I do think that they are going to explore the origins of Monarch in the new TV show, because that looks like what we're going to be getting. But maybe kind of expand on that further in another show. Like I said, really show the origins of Monarch in that in that universe. Maybe do some. Maybe since Godzilla vs. Kong showed how off the walls things can be. How about do something cosmic? How about do something a little different? You see, I always thought it'd be kind of cool to do a monster film in space, but focus on aliens instead of humans. You could do it maybe other life forms of this is how you could probably do a Ghidorah origin film. Since Ghidorah's dead, maybe it'd be kind of cool as this is a film of Ghidorah on his way to Earth, and there are groups of aliens whose planets he's ravaged that are like allying to stop him in one suicide attempt. Or you could do a film centered around Gigan. Like, this is the MonsterVerse version of Gigan, or a new monster, like a totally new space monster showing up. Yeah, there's just so much you can do now, and I think, like, after seeing, like, how crazy some of the, like, they just jumped ahead with tech in GVK, I was just like, screw it, just do whatever, like, just go nuts, do an alien, do a movie set in the, like, as a cosmic monster film. There you go. But you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of, what do you think should be the case going forward with the MonsterVerse? Just comment below, let me know, like, what monsters would you like to see? Like, would you like to see new monsters, old monsters? Do you think we should get movies about them, or should they just be supporting cast? Do you think, what kind of anime should we get, or animated shows or live action shows moving forward? Just go nuts in the comments. And as always, if you haven't already, hit the link below to my Patreon and get some exclusive videos. And if you hit the 4th tier, you can join. You can send me requests to do here on YouTube. But other than that, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.